Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the abuser attempts to sow self-doubt and confusion in the victim's mind. The abuser may deny things that have happened, contradict the victim's memories, or trivialize the victim's feelings in order to make the victim question their own reality. Sociopathy is a personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy, a disregard for social norms, and a tendency to exploit others. Sociopaths are often skilled manipulators and can be very convincing. This can make them very dangerous gaslighters. How sociopaths gaslight. Sociopaths use a variety of gaslighting techniques to control and manipulate their victims. Some of the most common techniques include 1. Denial. The sociopath denies things that have happened, even when there is evidence to support the victim's memory. For example, the sociopath might deny cheating on the victim, even if the victim has caught them red-handed. 2. Contradiction. The sociopath contradicts the victim's memories, telling them that they are misremembering things. For example, the sociopath might tell the victim that they never had a conversation about something important, even if the victim has clear memories of the conversation. 3. Trivialization. The sociopath trivializes the victim's feelings, telling them that they are overreacting or being too sensitive. For example, the sociopath might tell the victim that they are being dramatic or that they need to toughen up. 4. Blaming. The sociopath blames the victim for their own behavior, saying that the victim is provoking them or making them angry. For example, the sociopath might lash out at the victim verbally or physically, but then turn around and blame the victim for their behavior. 5. Isolation. The sociopath isolates the victim from their friends and family, so that the victim has no one to turn to for support. They may do this by making negative comments about the victim's friends and family, or by trying to control who the victim sees and talks to. 6. Making the victim feel crazy. The sociopath makes the victim feel crazy or insane, by telling them that they are imagining things or that they are mentally ill. For example, the sociopath might tell the victim that they are paranoid or that they are making things up. How to identify gaslighting by a sociopath? It can be difficult to identify gaslighting, especially if you are in the middle of an abusive relationship. However, there are some signs that you may be experiencing gaslighting by a sociopath, such as, you constantly feel like you are walking on eggshells around the sociopath. You second-guess your own thoughts and feelings. You feel like you are losing your mind. You start to believe that you are the crazy one. You feel isolated and alone. You have trouble trusting your own judgment. If you are experiencing any of these signs, it is important to talk to someone you trust about what is happening. This could be a friend, family member, therapist, or other mental health professional. They can help you to understand what is happening and to develop strategies for coping with it. How to deal with gaslighting by a sociopath. The best way to deal with gaslighting by a sociopath is to leave the relationship. Sociopaths are not capable of change, and they will only continue to abuse and manipulate you. If you are not able to leave the relationship, there are some things you can do to protect yourself, such as set boundaries. It is important to set boundaries with the sociopath. This means letting them know what behavior you will and will not tolerate. It is also important to enforce these boundaries. If the sociopath crosses a boundary, remind them of the boundary and walk away if necessary. Don't engage with the sociopath. When the sociopath is trying to gaslight you, it is best not to engage with them. Trying to argue with a sociopath will only make things worse. Instead, try to disengage from the conversation and walk away. Seek professional help. A therapist can help you to understand what is happening and to develop strategies for coping with it. They can also help you to develop a plan for leaving the relationship if you decide that is what you want to do. Conclusion: gaslighting by a sociopath can be very damaging to your mental health. It is important to remember that you are not alone, and there is help available. If you are experiencing gaslighting by a sociopath, please reach out for support.